Along with assessments, a major type of documentation in the treatment field is in the form of treatment plans and treatment plan updates. Taking a look first at a treatment plan, this generally stems from a client's assessment and discussion of client goals. A treatment plan is used to document the focus and purpose of treatment in the form of goals that clients would like to accomplish during treatment services. Additionally, it is a great way to monitor client progress and help providers to maintain focus on each client's goals during session appointments. What is important to note is that the treatment planning process is individualized, meaning each client and goals are unique to that person, and viewed as a collaborative process. Keep in mind that each treatment plan often contains client and staff information, service plan, client strengths and resources, and discharge criteria. Each treatment plan also generally includes the issue, problem area, and focus areas, the short and long-term goals, the specific treatment method, strategy, and frequency, and then is reviewed with the client and contains necessary signatures. I have included an example of how an original treatment plan might be formulated here. To start, a plan will list basic client information. From there, it is often common to briefly describe the service plan and client strengths. This can be very brief, such as client is enrolled in outpatient services for substance use disorder treatment. The strengths might be client is very motivated to engage in individual and group counseling. After that, the specific goals and treatment methods, treatment approaches, and strategies are listed. In this particular format, we start with the focus area, which is a brief description of the specific issue the client is addressing. Typically, in addiction services, focus area number 1 will focus on the addiction. It is important to pick one specific goal per focus area. This is valuable for several reasons. First, it gives the client a very clear idea of what each specific goal is. Piling goals or having too many goal areas together can actually be confusing for the client. By outlining each specific goal, it's easier for both the client and clinician to keep track of and monitor each goal's progress. After the focus area is completed, a short and long-term goal related to that focus area is created. In general, the short-term goal is viewed as the first step to the long-term goal. So, for example, if a client has a long-term goal of maintaining sobriety, the short-term goal may be to establish a relapse prevention plan. From there, the service strategy, treatment approach, and frequency are listed, meaning what treatment approaches are going to be used and how often. After focus area number 1 is completed, then any needs that relate to recovery are constructed. Here again, one specific issue, such as housing, would be targeted for each focus area. Some common additional goals might be focus area number 2 for sober housing, a focus area number 3 for stable employment, and a focus area 4 for relationship and/or family issues. By breaking each of these into a separate goal area, allows for each goal to be clearly outlined and tracked by both the client and the clinician. In this slide and the next, I have included an example of a completed treatment plan where focus area 1 relates to addiction issues and focus area 2 relates to housing goals. After an original plan is created, it is common for clinicians to use treatment updates to check on, monitor, and document client goal progress. The timeline for when to complete an update will often depend on the type of services being provided as well as the agency and level of care. Common timelines for updates often range anywhere from 30 to 60 to 90 days. Treatment updates are generally used to review original goals, determine which goals have been completed or need to be continued. In addition, treatment updates are useful to determine recommendations for further care. For example, if a client has completed all treatment goals, it can be a recommendation that the client graduate from services. Or if a client is struggling to achieve certain goals, this can be a time to determine if a revision in the original goal or level of treatment service should be made. On this slide and the following slide is an example of what an update might look like for the previous treatment plan, noting the client progress for each focus area. In this sense, treatment updates, as well as the original treatment plan, serve as a helpful guide for clients while seeking services.